All right, welcome everyone. We're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we're here for
Revolutionary Girl Utena, episode 12.
Utena.
Right.
You are in denial.
Yeah, of a sort.
Yes.
You have been mind broken.
Depression.
And you realize that, wait a minute, hold on a sec, hold up a minute. Have I been complicit this entire time? Have I actually just been making Anthe behave in a way that she doesn't actually want to? Well,
Yeah, then
what
it
do I
gets
do?
into the question of, could you actually have made Anthe do anything?
Right, because if she wants to do what she's choosing, that she likes to do what people tell her to do, then if you tell her to try and be herself, and then she just ends up still following whatever your interpretation of being herself is, that's still her choice. But or is that just something where it's actually that the shackles of this whole system run that deep within her that she wasn't able to actually break free of them yet? Who knows?
I think a lot of what Anthe's character represents is the idea of societal expectations of women and how much we put pressure on them to perform a specific way. But Anthe is absolutely filled with will because she has these little acts of rebellion, it seems like, throughout it that are very, very tiny. And it's just the question of, okay, at what point do those things get expressed and at which point do those things get suppressed? And then at what level do we as the audience kind of see her as a person that has, free will, or do we fall into the trap as well of, oh, everything's great with Anthe.
Yeah, you'll just continue to be what I want you to be, right?
She's just doing whatever the main character wants her. Yeah,
and that means everything's good.
Yeah, great.
But hey,
now we need to save her. Things get real simple.
Now
right?
we need to save her. Kind of, maybe, possibly.
Right. It feels like we went through route 1 of a video game, and now we're about to go through route 2 where we reduel everybody specifically to bring them to our side so that we can duel the president's stupid, manipulating, narcissistic ass.
And then the third part is going to be going up against End of the World with everybody all teamed up together, and it's going to be wonderful.
What? No. We're going to spear the president with a stake up his butt. And wave him around as a ritual sacrifice to summon End of the World.
No, right. But everybody else will then be on Utena's side as
everybody? Even Mosshead?
He's not here.
But you said everybody.
He's not here, though. But let's be real. He probably will be, and he'll be the dramatic return of the character that you never expected. And he's like, no, I went through therapy, and I'm a much healthier person now.
I'm Drew now.
But more importantly, because Anthe is no longer hanging with Utena, that means we get Wakaba. Because that's how it's going to work. That has to be how it's going to work.
You speak the truth.
Yes. I don't make the rules. That's just how it is.
Sorry, that was a reference for me and 12 people. But all right, y'all, without further ado, let's get into this. I love the wind down,
because that's what she definitely wanted.
Not present. Wakaba, cover her. She has all the diseases right now, all the sicknesses.
Yep.
For friendship's sake!
Yes! Oh, wait, that could just be talking about Utena and Anthe. Wait, hang on. Got my hopes up. Thought we were talking Wakaba.
Oh. Good. Ah. Yes. Yes. The common goof off.
Yeah, she doesn't know.
Already kind of assumes them as a couple,
Well, we had a fight with the president and it didn't go well. Regular girl's uniform?
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
Shit. Everyone's gonna be like, what?
It's like
This is-
Spider-Man putting away the suit.
I mean, it's good a little bit. She's gonna deconstruct her own, like, you know,
Sure. That way-
obsession with being a prince a little bit, you know?
Right. When she picks it back up, she'll be able to know why she's doing it.
Mm-hmm.
だからもこれにするよ。
She's like, wait, tomorrow
Wait.
on? Like,
Wait, this wasn't just a one-time thing? Just a...
hey, Auntie. Chu is like translating for her. Please come save me. I'm really happy to see you. The president is fucking awful. You know?
Right.
Yeah, Chu is her stress translator, you know?
Exactly.
Ah, that's why he's eating.
Yeah, he's stress eating for
He's
her.
stress eating for her, yeah.
That's my secret, Cap. I always stress eat.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Oh, his eyes. Oh.
あっぱり喧嘩ね。
Ah, Wakama, you're so smart.
はい。強くよしないでよ。ウテナらしくない。ちょっと待ってよ、ウテナ。
Stay strong, Wakama. It's gonna be hard. But you got to. Okay, shut the fuck up. I'm just singing
Yeah,
in his
just-
dance. Shut the fuck up! Shut the fuck up!
I'm ready.
Terminate with extreme prejudice.
というわけで、バラの花嫁と俺はエンゲージした。何か質問は？
Yeah, why do you suck?
どうやって勝った
Uh-huh.
実力で勝ったと思われてないのか。
筋書きに興味があるんでね。
俺は王子としてここにいる一人ぼっちの姫君を救ってやった。それだけ。
that's one of my favorite insults. Oh my god.
王子と姫君で決めないと。
まだラストシーンってわけじゃない。
Mm,
そうですよ。
Like, none of the other people are even rooting for you.
none of them.
そうやって無視するとことかも変。
Yeah,
いつものウテナじゃないみたい。
I'm actually getting screen time for once. Come on.
だんだんムカついてきた。黙秘すれば私が辞めるとでも。
失礼。噂には聞いていたが、目の覚めるような変身ぶりだね。
Punch him in the dick, Wakaba.
その制服、よく似合ってるよ。
She's giving him the stank eye so hard.
一緒に食事でもしてみない？
Wow.
花嫁。
He's trying to rub it in.
Ew, the hover hand.
Yeah.
Ew.
ちょっと。
Yeah, chotto fucking mate.
Mhm.
いいだろ。
ほらウテナ、そんなの派手つけちゃいなさいよ。私のウテナ様に触んないで。
That's right.
God, the audacity of this bitch.
Mhm.
あんたも嫌なら嫌って言いなさいよ。
She's saying the same thing to
Uh-huh.
Utena that Utena said to Auntie. Yeah! Oh, wait.
She missed. Noble attempt, Wakaba.
wait.
Noble attempt.
The Prez dodged out
Yeah,
of the
he
way.
did.
あんたもいけないのよ。
Yeah.
そんなところにぼーっと伝ってるから。だいたいあんたが喧嘩なんかするから。
Oh, okay. No, she did actually.
Oh, oh.
そうよ。
Oh, wow.
あんたがいけないのに。
But he still did move out of the way. Shit.
何よ。ちゃんと反応できるじゃない。
Wow!
元気な友達がいるね。
Just
今度は
Slides right in. Whew, all in the first half.
all right.
Let's go.
What's the transition bit with the two silhouettes gonna be?
I don't think we're getting a duel this
Yeah.
episode.
Oh right, yeah, they're with
Yeah.
the duels. Yep. Unless Wakaba and Utena duel for some
Wait, we
reason.
entered here without suddenly we are the chick, you are the egg, and all that bullshit.
すまないアンシー。ちょっとここで待っててくれ。
Oh my god.
はい。
Watch, it's a booty call from another girl.
I mean, yeah, of course.
We're
Oh.
actually getting on the internal perspective.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Okay. I was worried for a second
That it
there.
was the president. Yeah, same.
ちょい待ち。勝手に謝っておしまいにしないでよ。
Whoa.
生徒会長でしょ。
Wait, that's the spot
あいつのせいでしょ。
where the
ウテナが元気ないの。生徒会長のせいなんでしょ。
isn't that it? Isn't that where they usually have their silhouettes or shadows on?
I have no idea.
あ、
I'll have to go back and check.
わかんないんだけど。
Yeah. So talk to me.
なんでその制服
Like what?
これが普通じゃない
Not for you.
普通じゃないわよ。だって普通じゃないのがウテナの普通だから。
That's right.
今の普通はね、ウテナの普通じゃないのよ。もうめんどくさい。また黙秘するわけね。今のウテナってかっこ悪いよ。
Don't hold in your feelings.
受けみたい。なんだかわかんない。
Oh, like something was stolen from you. So does that mean that? Ooh.
Yep.
取り返してよ。取り返してよ。
Shit. She's fallen in for the
Yeah.
idea of that she owned on the
Uh-huh.
ごめん、若葉。痛かったろ？学食で叩いた時。
Fuck you, yeah, it did.
これ、僕の普通じゃないよね。
Wow. She realized, if I'm gonna be the prince that saves, damsels in distress, this is a damsel in distress.
Right.
Oh, this is so twisted. I love it. Like, it's the wrong angle, but it's gonna help her. Yeah, Jesus Christ, this bitch. Yeah, I owe you a slap. I challenge you to a duel, you bitch.
じゃあ今度の日曜一緒に食事してくれるかな。
今から。
I'm gonna make you eat my sword.
Yeah.
待つのは嫌か。
決闘の森で。
Yeah. Okay, no, we are getting
All
the
right.
Jacob.
かしらかしら。
Yeah, see?
Yeah,
See,
it
It
is.
is.
Yeah.
普通に就職して普通に恋愛して普通に。
Society's expectations. Yeah.
私たちに関係ない普通よね。 そろそろ私たちの普通に戻るとしますか。
The little alien ship. This is amazing.
Oh, she already has her sword out.
これを使え。
Nice.
ラストシーンを飾るのに必要だろ。
Fuck yeah. Okay, this is a very different entrance into the area. That
Yeah, we don't have music in the background.
we have no fanfare. We have
Nope.
none of the chanting.
Right.
This is very different.
こいつがただの剣じゃないのは知っていると思うが。
Whoa,
こう
no
いう
shit.
使い方はどうかな。バラの花嫁。その身を捨てて剣を守れ。
Wait, what?
はい。 姫宮。
She just kissed the blade, I think. Yeah.
Oh, it's been imbued with some power, some shit.
Okay.
どうだい。美しいだろう。
Isn't
ディオ
my
スの
sword
バラの花
beautiful?
嫁の力だ。 この力に勝てるか。
All right, all right.
Alright, okay.
Yeah.
絶対に勝つ。
そうか。やってみてくれ。
All right.
And the ground crumbles.
トーガ様に勝てるわけないのに。
Watch me. Whole lot of close calls.
And her sword's broken.
Now, this has happened before.
Yep. Yep. Just abuse your iframes. Yep.
Oh.
わかるか。この剣の
Ah,
力
here comes the
こ
chanting.
れがバラの花嫁の秘められた力なんだ。君はそんなことも知らずに、
あは
貴様気取りでいたんだよ。君は分かっていないんだ。
それでも、
Oh.
店長さんおかしいんじゃない？死んじゃうかも。なんでこの人決闘してるの？僕は姫宮のことなんて何も分かってないのかもしれない。
Yeah.
今は自分にとっての普通を取り戻したいんだ。
Right.
あれな。
終わりね、店長さん。でも、これ見たこともある。
Maybe in the instant that it cuts through, she can take the rest of it past. She gets out from under it.
知ってるあの時と同じ
Oh shit. Oh shit.
Wait.
The power was
went away?
dispelled.
And then she... Oh! Oh, shit!
Auntie's wish.
Hers was pink, so I think she got him.
Holy shit.
Okay.
返してもらうよ
You're basic. Skill issue. Get fucked. Plot this.
Now get
Please get out of my house.
bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, but we need to
Now,
address
how is this
the-
interaction
the-
gonna go?
Yeah.
姫宮お待ちしておりました
She was like, I never unpacked.
今日から私は姫宮もういいからさあ一緒に帰ろう
That was just crackers.
And to be continued. Wait, so there's a part 3?
Are we linear from here on out?
I mean, maybe. Maybe.
It's possible.
Maybe they needed a core to set up, most everything, and now this is like the main story.
Have the body swaps and the elephants and the kangaroos and all, get that out of the way.
All right.
Okay.
Well, we saved Auntie. It was a very quick turnaround.
Yep.
I'm very glad in a lot of ways because I just hate seeing the president be smug or excited or even happy in even the slightest sense of the word.
God, he is
Fuck
awful.
him.
He
is a piece of shit.
They really played it up in this episode.
And I'm glad they did because there's some elements of him that are nuanced, but the one that is not at all, is that he is a manipulative, conniving, plotting, narcissistic piece of shit.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
That is objective.
That's written in stone.
That is written in the stars.
Yes.
The castle in the sky echoes the bullshit that spews from his every orifice.
I think one of my favorite parts about this episode, when I think of how little time it took in the episode, but the impact of it happening, is the fact that it's like, oh yeah, Utena's gonna fight him. She doesn't have a sword. Yeah, take mine. Yeah. Bring that bitch low. Like that.
Like, can I talk about something that is such a me thing? I don't know if anybody even sees this as an insult, but he brings up in the end of the world kind of style, oh yes, we are the chick and the egg and all that shit. And in their meeting of like, anybody opposed to me marrying the Rose Bride? Any questions? None from Mickey, right? How did you win? Oh, that I won by pure skill. Isn't what you think, is it? And then she says, you seem to prefer plots. Like, may I just say, this is like one of my favorite responses to anything here. Because what I read into with this insult is he was just saying, you don't think I'd have enough skill to do it, do you? She answers yes in one of the most impactful ways by basically saying, what? You think you got anything in life except by being a conniving, manipulative, scheming little shit?
Yeah, there's so many different layers.
There's so many different layers.
One, she's not actually saying the insult. She's making him say the insult.
Exactly.
Which is just, that's so much better.
It's the most backhanded compliment, but not a compliment.
Right.
I fucking love it.
Two, by confirming it with the you seem to prefer plots, it's the you're a scumbag, right? That statement in and of itself is great. But the you seem to prefer, not just it was obviously a plot. It's the I see you.
I've seen this before.
Like
we know who you are. Yes, exactly.
You bend over backwards to make it so that people so that you think this is like kept secret, kind of. But
I know.
No, we're not idiots. Yeah. We know. Yeah, you're a piece of shit, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just.
I'm so glad you get it too. Because when when these words were uttered, my brain just literally went peak. Like
You
this
the
is peak writing.
WWE got the.
I just nutted in the writing sense there because it's so layered and simple, and yet like I love every bit of this word. I mean, not this word, this statement here. You just yes. Oh, you just
not even looking at him.
Not even looking at him. Yep. Seem. Oh yeah, seem. Based on my perceptions over the course of time, this has been your the record shows in this book.
Not my statement of me saying what you actually prefer, but the evidence would suggest.
And then prefer meaning like, this is your forte.
Right. You maybe could have tried to actually be skilled.
You could have been skilled, but you a basic bitch. So you lean this way. You lean so far to the left, you're like almost fucking yourself. Like you are that up your own ass. Then plots in my way. Plots is the kind of word where it's like I'm not even calling them smart. It's just that it's just that there are other people involved. This isn't really
You're
your
a
thing.
schemer.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm trying to control your little world.
Yeah.
Yep.
And also, thank you. One of the words for plots is regard to like a plot of land. It's this little kingdom that you've created. So you've crafted this little kingdom plot that
sad
is
little
like
king of a
sad little king of a sad little hill. Yes. You can fucking hold your hand there. Thank you.
I was too excited to high five you. Yep. Yeah. So that was just absolutely beautiful. More of that.
I love that shit so much.
Yeah.
And then a prince, you, that's rich, kind of thing there.
Right.
And then just the, but you haven't seen the last scene, And then just Wakaba's tenaciousness. Can we talk about Wakaba just being tenacious in this regard and being, in my opinion, what a lot of friends, not a lot of friends, what a lot of people need from their friends but are too scared to ask.
Yes.
Is basically, can you break my eggshell and just
don't make it any way.
I know, but just basically like literally kick me in the face if I'm ever doing this kind of shit,
Exactly.
And Wakaba does it and has to suffer through a lot of it. Yep. And she keeps going. Her best friend slaps her in the face.
Oh yeah.
Like that's
when she's standing up for you.
Yeah. Like that's such a betrayal.
Yep.
Like it's not just it's a slap, but it's the context of you so don't understand, but in trying to understand, I'm going to slap you.
Right. And my favorite part about that whole thing is that she doesn't miss a beat. She's like, oh, okay, whack, slaps her right back.
So you can react to something.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, if that is the only way that I am so dedicated to having a conversation with you that if the only way that you can actually speak in a conversation with me is starting it with a slap, I will engage with you in that language, right? Like, all right, cool. Now we're talking, right?
Yeah.
I'm glad you decided.
I got a reaction at you. You're not so dead walking.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah. But I want to talk about the fact that Utena responded to, in my opinion, the thing that shows that she hasn't fully realized as a character where she's off here. Wakaba calls her out basically for saying like, what you're doing is not being you. But then in a really cool opportunity here, Utena gets to question, wait, who am I? What?
Why did I wear that uniform?
Yeah, why did I wear that uniform? Why did I have such an attachment to Anthi in that way? Was it maybe because I kind of became like the president and owned her as, my princess, and just kind of took advantage of that? Maybe I didn't think I was doing that. Oh, was I? But then when she shifts back, it's something was taken from you. You can just get it back. Take it back.
Yeah. So I had the same thought as you of like, oh no, she's up, like she got the wrong thing from this. Except in the duel when the president is like, you want to take Anthi back. What Utena says is, I want to take myself back. Right? It's the no.
She didn't show up in the men's uniform.
Right. Forget Anthi.
Sure.
I am not me right now as a result of what happened.
Right.
And so now I am going to fight you and kick your ass, whatever it takes, right? Because I need to be me, right?
Right. It's a step, but she still stops short of the apex, you know.
So, what would you say would be the thing on top of that she would need to do? Like the change that would need to happen in addition? Because so my thought with it is that
it's an internal thing as to who she sees herself as. It's because she shifts back into cool mode basically to save Wakaba.
But the thing is that the decision to be a prince, I would say that's not a bad thing. It's understand why you want to be a prince.
No,
right?
I'm 100% with you. I think the full realization for Utena that's going to be like the end of the show kind of thing, where it's the true realization of who she is that the whole prince imagery and stuff like that is actually super unhealthy. Like it's very much a savior complex, a hero complex.
Sure.
It's a thing that puts her own needs as low, and thus she constantly tries to save other people, but she doesn't actually have wants or desires.
But that's why I think this is so important. Because
it's progression. I'm with you.
Well,
I just don't think it's the full step.
Well, okay.
In that direction.
Here's why I think it is. Okay. Because she's dealing with her own wants and desires. She is doing it for the sake of herself, not for someone else. And with the whole question of, wait, was I being complicit to the whole Rose Bride situation and things like that?
Right.
At the end, yes, Anthe is doing her thing of playing the part of the Rose Bride, and she kind of dismisses that, and she's like, yeah, forget that. The thing is, though, she doesn't actually control whether Anthe is going to play the role into that or not.
She can't.
And she doesn't actually want to, because that would be her then using that, and she doesn't want to use that. So instead, it's just whatever, let's go home, right? She's going to be her own person, and if Anthe decides to play the part of the Rose Bride, sure, whatever, but I'm not going to request that of you. I'm not going to make you do it or anything like that.
Yeah.
You just be you.
I'm with you. She's figured out how to approach Anthe correctly, in my opinion. I don't think she's figured out herself.
Gotcha.
I think she has solved the issue of how to connect to Anthe as more than just a person who she needs to protect, someone that she can truly connect with and be vulnerable with. But I do not believe that Utena has cleared her own internal struggle over the image of being the prince. If anything, no, the step in that direction was the visual angle that she did not put on the men's uniform in order to go and do this. She didn't need to don that fake aspect of that there, but she did not, at the very least, the show didn't give enough time for her to focus on it to show that she understood what that meant. Because when we're going through the dialogue here, when she realizes and she kind of snaps out of it, it's based on the idea that she needs to take it back, but also that uniform just isn't right for you. And then she's like, oh, wait, me, yeah, forgive me. And she does the whole cool voice where she shifts into like, I'm going to be cool. It hurt, didn't it, when I slapped you in the dining hall? Sorry about that. I understand now. You're totally right. Yeah. She then says, this isn't normal for me, but then keeps wearing it in the thing there, showing that she's got that little bit of dissonance with regards to how she approaches this.
Sure.
She's just going there to be the cool prince that will save the damsels in distress here. And she needed Wakaba to wake her up to basically be the remember who you are, which in her mind, I still think she's approaching this as the, oh yeah, regardless of how she's going to treat Anthe after she's done the saving, she needs to don a little bit of that in order to do the, I'm going to be cool and save you here. But the hope that I think that she's making progress in that area is that she didn't put on the men's uniform.
I fully believe that in the next episode she's going to have the uniform
back on.
Yeah,
and that's my point, is that she's
but not as a bad thing though.
Okay.
Because again, I don't see her doing the whole Prince thing as being bad. It's the question of why is she doing it?
Yeah, of course. That's what I'm talking about too.
Right. But because the situation with the fight wasn't about saving Anthe, it was about reclaiming that the part of herself that she had
Yes.
let go of, right?
Right.
Then there's no issue, right?
Well, no, it's because the part that she had let go of was not an entirely healthy thing. Though the reason why she's doing this stuff with the print stuff and things like that is because of a hyper dramatized realization potentially of a thing in her past that she's drawn her whole identity from that is not her. That is just a hyperfixation. And so if she's redawning that, that's basically saying that she's partly understood that it needs to be, used contextually. It's not just a, big brush you apply to everything. But I think that this is the beginning of her realizing that she needs to let the part of that hyperfixation with it go at some point.
And that's why I think it was important that when she fought the president, she wasn't wearing the uniform.
Yes, and I was already saying, I think that is a progression. I feel like I'm repeating myself. That is my point, is that is a showcasing that she's on the step to the right direction there, but I don't think that she solved it. I think that she's just at the very least made a little bit of progress in that area.
Maybe it'll just have to be an agree to disagree thing, because
So do you think that she addressed the internal identity issues she has with being the prince
Yes.
in this scene with Wakaba?
This was the beginning of it, and then the fighting of the president was the taking
cap,
was the end cap. It's the taking. It's the you have an internal realization, and then you crystallize it with action, so that way it's not just some feeling that you have at some point, right? No, okay, yeah, this is the situation, right? I still want to be the prince because I like doing that. I'm still going to do that, but I am not defined by being a prince.
Mm-hmm.
I am defined by being me, and it turns out that who I am is a prince. Because that's who I've decided to be, right? And so of course there will be times where maybe she's not, she doesn't have to adhere to that, right? Because it's about listening to herself, not
I get
some structure.
I get that a part of that is still like 100% like true with regards to the identity thing there.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's thematically something that the story is wanting to undermine, and maybe on a meta level. It's episode 12, and we've got like 20 something episodes to go. I don't think Utena's character journey with regards to her identity is over. And also,
totally.
I don't think that the taking on the identity as a prince is something that is a
like it's inherently unhealthy or something.
No, I don't think it's inherently unhealthy. Obviously, people can decide to be whatever they want, but it's the thing in which every time that she's done this, it's been for the purpose of having the hero complex of saving other people.
Mm-hmm.
Utena doesn't have desires outside of that.
But that's what was addressed here.
No, I know.
Mm-hmm.
But that's my point, is that if she goes back to I can be okay as long as I'm just the prince that saves everybody else, who saves Utena? Who is basically the one that's going to bring bring her,
right,
actualization of who she is as a person.
Right, but in this case, it was something where, in this case, it was Wakaba that helped, shake her awake, and then she's like, okay, and now I'm going to save myself, right?
Right. I think that you could make the argument that Wakaba totally woke her up and gave her a step in that direction. Again, I define it more as a step here, but the thing that was directly resolved here, I feel like was not an identity not an identity transformation, but an identity restoration, if that makes sense. If the identity that Utena had before this event was one that was tarnished by the hyperfixation of this prince image, and what that means for her, thus that she's reduced herself in her capacity to interact with people and stuff by being just this hyper cool prince and stuff like that. She is not a fully realized person.
Sure.
If she restores back to that point with a little bit of contextual wisdom and stuff like that, she is better than where she was before, for sure. But she is still relying on that as the foundation. And thus,
Right.
I have seen that this is a step in the progression towards actualization where she can be a fully realized person. But
Yeah, so this is right. So that makes sense.
Okay.
The way that I see it is that it's something where, yes, it's only episode 12. There will still be a lot more of a journey that she needs to go on, but it's not going to be in correcting the mindset that she has in this moment. It's going to be about learning the ins and outs of exactly what that means, right? So she figured it out. She cracked the code, but now she's essentially on a whole new journey, right? So now it's going to be the whole thing of, okay, what does it look like to actually be in this place where the motivations for why you're doing things is not, is because that's what you want and that's who you believe yourself to be, rather than just because you're wanting to adhere to an archetype that you think is really cool,
Yeah, I don't think that she gave us anywhere near enough evidence to show that she had that kind of realization. I think that the way that she spoke to Wakaba shows that she more shifted back into just, I'm going to be a cool prince.
I would absolutely agree with that, if
You know
not
what I
for the
mean?
fact that she like it almost felt like the show is specifically setting us up to think that it's
was going to be the case.
that was going to be the case,
then
and it's
way
the
she acted at the end of the fight
yes, I'm
changed
going
it.
to take back the thing that I want. The thing that I want is Anthi, and it's like, whoa, that'd be
Yeah,
problematic.
because she
But
ended
no,
the fight saying, I'd taken back what I was.
right, what I was, completely separate from like she was not like the obvious prince thing would be I'm going to go in there and I'm going to save Anthi, right? Because Anthi is in this bad situation, right?
Right.
And that was completely irrelevant to what she was doing. And then when Anthi shows up, it again, her being there was kind of completely irrelevant to what Utena did. Sure, yeah, let's go home, right? But whether or not you see yourself as being my rose bride or not,
Sure.
I don't particularly care.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think that we're in like 90% agreement.
Right,
in
it's
that
that
regard.
slight-
it's that very
slight
slight
little
thing
difference,
that,
yeah.
in my opinion, kind of informs where the next stage of the story will be.
That's
Because
true.
I feel like when you talk about what the journey is, I'm literally describing what the journey will be. Of yes, it's the progression towards the realization that she has set up in this episode, but she didn't actually make more than a step's worth of progress in that area.
Right.
And that's in some ways where the stuff surrounding Utena as a character needs to be kind of brought back up to the surface and kind of reminded to us here, is that Utena as a character is actually a character drenched in mystery. The reason why she's here, not explained fully. 2, the reason why she has this hyperfixation on the prince and stuff with regards to the thing that we did know a little bit about this based
Right.
on the past that the president showed us, not from Utena's perspective, just from his perspective, that there might be some disconnect between reality and what Utena perceived as actually happening.
Right, because what was the prince?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And then 3, the idea that the image of the prince is this potential fantastical thing that is tied to the floating castle, Anthi, the power of
Yeah.
Dios, all this stuff, meaning that there is a supernatural, symbolic, and mechanical, literal element to this whole thing that she is focused on in her mind that is false. It is not real. It is something that
Totally.
that needs to be actually
But-
like broken open and understood.
Well, but I feel like that's kind of what this episode was, right? Because up until then, she had been chasing the paragon, the ideal of the prince and all that stuff, right? Nothing wrong with that, right? But it's an incomplete image, right? And so that will only take you so far, right? And
Right.
And the president basically ended up showing that to her in his
yes,
twisted way,
which
right?
is what he served really well in the story for being.
Exactly,
Yes,
right,
he
right.
is the false prince.
And
It's
that's one of the
perfect,
reasons why he's such a good antagonist, right?
Yes.
Because you want to have antagonists be ones that specifically poke at the protagonist in ways that make the protagonist then, in trying to overcome and deal with the antagonist, learn more about themselves and all of that stuff, right? So
Well said. Well said.
worked very, very, very well for that.
Yeah.
But the fact that the thing that might have started this could be something that is entirely fake, right?
Yep.
That doesn't mean that the thing that is happening now with Utena is bad.
No,
right?
no, I'm not saying that it's bad. I'm saying that it is incomplete. I've been saying Many times that is a step. She is not a fully realized character with regards to her identity. She is still relying on that image and that fixation somewhat. She has restored herself back to where she was, and that stuff there has basically given me this context that if we were to draw a line segment of her progression, at the end of the story, she'll be here, right?
Okay.
Right now, she's here. She has been back here before, but there was a point in this episode where she went back. Like, she reverted. Like, she lost sight of who she was, basically. Wakaba bangs on the door enough, brings her back up to here. And in the fight, then, like you're saying, she then shows that she's actually willing to keep moving. Like, she moves past that. She grows.
I don't see it as something. So maybe this is semantics, but
okay.
I see it not as being something where she got back to her starting position and then the fight brought her up like past that. It's that the understanding that we were led to believe was happening is that she went back to her starting position, but the fight clarifies that it wasn't actually that. She became something
right. So even if she went back ahead, or what have you, and then made even more progress in the fight and stuff like that, I still see that as being here, not here where she needs to be a fully realized person with regards to her identity. Right. I feel like that's where her big conflict is. Utena's internal problems that are holding her back are an identity-based one.
And that's why I think she did actually fix the and I think that's where we differ, is that you think there's still an identity issue.
Yes.
I think the identity issue is resolved. Okay. Regardless, we both think that there's still a journey that needs to happen. And then for you, it's the journey will involve fixing the identity, and then for me, it's the journey will involve coming to better understand what that identity means.
Yeah, and I think that that's where I don't see how
the actualization as opposed to
well, no, that's what I've been saying this whole time. That's why I've been saying you're saying the same thing as me once you get to this point here. I am talking about actualization of identity. I've said those words many times, and saying that the progression towards that is one that is only started.
Okay.
So right?
Yeah, no,
like she hasn't reached actualization of identity. We agree on that, right?
No, okay. Then that's just different semantics on actualization.
Oh, okay.
So, my view of it is that she will become more of what she is now, not that she will become something different that is better.
Okay, cool. Know? So then in that respect, what I've been using actualization for probably the wrong way, because I need to refresh my mind of what the actualization in that context means.
We could totally both be wrong.
Right, but the point I've been making is that Utena is still believing a lie. Utena is still relying on a pattern that got her the ability to win this fight, basically. She is still playing into the system of this whole world. Therefore, on some level, in order for her to be the revolutionary girl Utena, she needs to break the system.
But that's an environmental thing, not a who she is as a person.
No, not in this anime. I 100% do not see the point in entirely separating those things. This is way too symbolic and way too pointed at people's internal struggles and character issues being innately tied to the world building and the environmental conflict and stuff like that.
Right, but who says it has to be the changing of the identity to be one that's better versus the progressing deeper into that.
The reason why is because I believe that the way that Utena has been relying and fixating on the prince side of things is unhealthy. It is not
I would agree for everything before this episode.
Cool.
And even cool. In the earlier parts of this episode where she was, before the whole realization with Wakaba.
Right. If she starts to abandon some aspects of the prince fixation, I would say that then you were right all along, that this was basically an actualization of realizing where she had kind of gone too extreme in a specific area there, and she needs to be more balanced rather than actualized, if anything. And if she then leans harder into the prince thing, then I would say that that's where I'm kind of right on the money there, is that there's an element of the prince thing there that because it is tied to this imagery that we know on some level is false or is some kind of projection or whatever, that that is innately tied to the themes of Utena's struggle, her
Gotcha.
internal journey.
Because
And-
I think she'll still lean into the prince thing a bunch, but
Yeah.
but it's the reason of why she's doing it, right? Is it because this is me versus I'm gonna be that,
right?
You know,
because I think here I can simplify it actually in a whole phrase.
Yeah.
Utena believes in her mind that only princes can save damsel in distresses. And that is bullshit. One of our favorite stories about saving people talks about, well, only you can actually save yourself.
Sure.
Like only you can do that.
Right.
And what would be a better way to have Utena come to the realization that it's not about some hyper idealized version of herself that is cool, that is badass and all
Totally.
that. She can channel that if need be to win duels and stuff. That's great. But is that who she is? No.
Well,
the one that's going to save her is the princess inside
So
of her.
here's the question to combat that.
Yeah.
I absolutely think that Utena believed that the princes are the only ones that can save people.
Right,
You know, before, right?
Yeah.
Here, Wakaba very much helped to save her, right? She also saved herself, but like it wouldn't have happened without Wakaba, right? And she knows that. She knows that, right?
Yeah.
So I find it hard to believe that any of that would survive after this.
I
think we'll
think
definitely have to see in future episodes of where it goes and things like that. But
what is one of Utena's defining character traits as a flaw?
Naivete.
Yep, 100%. No, I do not think that, unfortunately, our protagonist, I do not believe is wise enough to have come to that.
But she went
conclusion.
to fight the president without the uniform, right? She wasn't being a prince there. She's just being her.
I know, and that's a big step. I agree.
But how can you say that she doesn't have that stuff figured out when we haven't seen things of her not having that figured out in, like, if that comes up in future episodes?
That's my point. We don't have enough evidence yet. So I'm leaning towards she hasn't had that figured out yet, because this episode didn't carry forward enough in time for us to see a pattern emerge, a difference. This was.
I feel like we've definitely seen a difference.
No, the difference is primarily a visual one. It's a surface one.
Hey,
yeah. we'll see. We'll see. But I also think there's a meta level thing here that I'm operating under, which is that we're in episode 12. Utena is the main character. I'm sorry, Anthi. You are a part of the world story.
Yes.
But
you're the secondary character for sure.
Yes.
But the other
But
main
Utena
character
is not going to achieve balance or identity, actualization in episode 12. I'm sorry. It would be badass as fuck if she got that here.
Again, I think there's more actualization to happen in the growing deeper in the identity that she has figured out here.
Right.
And with future episodes, there's plenty of other characters that will have to figure out their shit.
Yes, absolutely.
Like there's all
she
sorts
needs to
of
save
things that can
tons
happen.
of other people.
Right.
Absolutely.
Like the amount of
I'm with you.
The amount of time that Utena could be the focus of the story in
Yes.
which she is continuing to move in that new
Proactive.
identity and being proactive and stuff.
Yes.
Might not be as much as we would think, to where it wouldn't actually be as problematic if she did have everything more figured out, and it's okay, now how do I walk in this?
Okay, prediction here then.
Yeah.
She goes into an arc of acting exactly like what you're talking about, right?
Okay. Yeah.
And then they peel back what's the true world status of things here. What's actually going on? And it repeats. She gets broken even further. She loses her way. And then she realizes that the thing that she needs to abandon in order to move forward is what I'm talking about. And then it's we were both right. It's actually that she is able to do a lot in the way that you're talking about here. And she makes big, meaningful, proactive steps to save all the side characters of the council. That actually makes sense as to what you would do in the next arc of the story.
Sure.
You would basically be like, all right, bitch, I'm going to disassemble your whole little hierarchy here. Let's get them all onto my side here. And then she does that over the course of the next, however many episodes. But I think then the next thing to where you can bring your protagonist low and have them realize that they still have a long way to grow is attacking her fairy tale.
I think
this is a show about deconstructing fairy tales.
I think it absolutely is. I think she absolutely will continue to grow. I don't think she will ever ever be broken again. I think that has happened here. She's learned what she needed to learn. If she learned some crazy new stuff about like the prince that actually was there, sure, that jostle her a bit, right? But she's learned the lesson about that, and so now when that happens, she will be equipped to deal with it, even if it's still a struggle and something that she has to grow to overcome. It's not going to be I need to let go of something in order to overcome it. It's okay, now how do I deal with this?
I feel like there's an element of like. Yes, in what you're saying, I very much am like almost entirely for the most part on board with that. It is something that would be narratively satisfying. It's something that would provide lots of awesome moments for Utena as a character to champion this new vision, if you will, for the story, the characters, the world, and stuff. But in order to bring about a revolution, in order to break the world, in order to like actually like shatter things and do that, I believe she needs to shatter, and this was not that. This was in my opinion, if you wanted to be kind of pedantic here, she is a child who lost her favorite toy, and I'm very serious about this. Okay, that there's a lot of things about Utena that are very childish and immature, and it's not just the naivete. There's a lot of things that make her an extremely selfish person. She does not value other people that well. There's a lot of things about the way that she saw things at being, wrong or
when
good.
She apologized, I mean, granted, apologizing for the slap is the most important thing with Wakaba. But yeah, she didn't apologize about like the
stuff with Sayonji.
Well, no. The way I was ignoring you and treating you and things like that. That it wasn't just the slap that hurt, even though the slap is the biggest thing that needs to be talked about. That could be something where it's just she's dealing with the biggest thing, or for the purposes of the episode length or whatever, we're not going to go into this big conversation of all the different apologies or whatever.
But I think if the story focuses on her being proactive and then continuing in this princely thing and not addressing the Anthe thing more directly, that's showing that she doesn't actually prioritize it as much, that she's not focused on that. She has not realized the missteps. She has big blind spots that in a very proactive protagonist way, that would be the proper flaw, is to have her be championing and driving forward everything. And now she's got a mission. She's excited. She's passionate. She's got people alongside her, but she's got these big blind spots right here.
But couldn't that be what kind of was already dealt with here? Because
yes, it could have been, but I'm just saying I'm saying I think most likely it's not. Because
I think the Rose Bride thing will still, and Anthe's whole situation will still definitely be something that is brought up and talked about.
Right.
But the level of letting go that I see as having happened here for Utena, especially when it comes to Anthe, is I realize that now I can't make you change, right? And I don't want to make you change.
Yes.
So
that's good.
So I care about you. I like you. You continue to be you, whatever that means, even if it doesn't fit the mold that I have in my mind of the way you should be, right?
It's amazing how that lesson would work really well if she turned it on herself, but she hasn't yet. That whole thing of who projecting out onto somebody who they should be. She has, over the course of the story, projected onto herself because of an incident in her past that she should be the prince. And if she's not, if she fails in that in some way, she goes into a pout.
But that's what she dealt with here. Like,
I think that's the thing, though.
Like, it's totally possible that she could deal with it again, you know? But I don't feel that that's necessary, and I don't think it's something that's being built up to with what we've seen in this episode.
Well, of course not. In this episode is about realizing the...
No, totally. Well, but you can have episodes where it's like, okay, you see the character make, a ton of progress on something, but you also see like, okay, they've still got a ways to go, but that's good. They made a really big, meaningful step.
That's what I've been saying
this
whole time.
That's... No, I know. Okay. And I'm saying that can happen, but I don't think that is what happened, right? But if the show wanted to do that, they could have, and they didn't. The fact that we've gotten this much discussion out of like such a slight difference in like in perspectives on things.
Oh my god.
Yeah. Anyways,
this show's really good.
Yep.
It gave us gave us a lot to talk about. There's so much catharsis in this episode, and yet it is episode 12.
Yep.
the story is not anywhere close to being over.
Nope.
This is the kind of thing that if we see it a little bit from your perspective, it feels a little bit more like a finale.
Mm-hmm.
And short of some very, very abrupt status quo shifting, I think that we have only touched the beginnings of the psychological mess that is Utena.
I think we are absolutely this was absolutely a status quo shift, and we're gonna be getting another one in about another 12 episodes. And that's,
Yes.
you know, so it'll be the, this initial bit. All right, now we figure things out at the school more, and then shit goes wild.
Maybe,
you know.
Yeah, maybe I'm being petty, but I can't wait to be proven right. like I can't wait to be proven right.
Yeah, I mean,
I
would be happy for it.
I see Utena as having like 6 big, maybe 5 big things that are just gaping holes in her character that need to be figured out.
Mm-hmm.
And they're plot things, they're mechanic things, they're emotional things, and they're like relational things. And I feel like we just started filling up 1 or 2.
Gotcha.
And the other ones are entirely separate, different things that are going to change her dramatically. Because when we see her as a character, this anime does a very good job of striking a extreme form of introduction in that she is not like anybody else. There is nobody else in the story that's even remotely
Everyone
close
else
to her.
conforms to the, you know, norms and mores of the school and all of that stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that in order for her to have the, you know, like true moment of revolutionizing things, she herself must be revolutionized. I'm not trying to undersell this, but not just had a pep talk over the course of an episode.
Totally.
From the friend who mostly is upset with the fact that she's not following the usual patterns. I don't know if you think about
I mean, let's be real. Was it that she was upset that she wasn't following the usual patterns, or was it that she was upset that Utena was not being vulnerable with her?
Well, yes, absolutely. But I think it is interesting that of the things that snapped her back to it, it wasn't the emotion of the things that she was saying. It was the word choice, or at least it seemed like the word choice of what she did. Finally was what made Utena go, oh, okay. And Wakaba did this for a long time. I think that actually says a lot about Utena's character, that it took all this.
Oh, yeah.
And she slapped Wakaba.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And
she was
got
being
all the way to this. That
very
is how
stubborn about
that
it.
is how naive, how stubborn, and how in denial Utena is as a character. And I don't think that this is just gonna snap and all of me. It's just it's not how people work.
No.
Of
course, she will have to
practice it.
to practice this and turn this into a new groove, right?
Right, and that's probably what the next stage of the story will be.
But I don't think there's any problem with the new groove that she is now set up to start making. Right.
Sure. Okay. I agree with you. Again, 99% of it, I'm just more seeing that this groove doesn't solve the other problems she has internally.
Gotcha.
And those problems in some ways are being coddled by what this new pattern seems to be.
Okay.
Yeah. It's the kind of thing where a lot of people will get excited about there's a very classic meme that's used where everyone is dealing with the mental health tax of COVID and all this stuff and things like that. Okay. So it's I made my bed this morning, drinks a cup of wine, smokes a cigarette, does this stuff, watches 6 TV shows and stuff, and it's like I'm winning,
Made progress. Better
it's
than yesterday.
Hilariously dark because it's relatable. Is that healthy? Fuck no. It's the kind of thing where Utena did a badass heroic thing and then didn't throw away the cigarettes, the big wine bottles, the copium, all the other stuff that is just there. She's not using them right now.
No, totally.
But you see.
But that's. I would say. And, oh God, if you've actually watched up to this point in
of our
discussion,
argument over this,
you fucking legend. But I would say in that situation, then that's talking about the details of the changes that are happening rather than the heart behind the changes, right? if the heart behind the changes is I'm going to start taking care of myself, right? Right now, what I can manage is making my bed. Okay, cool.
No, I'm yes.
And then maybe next time it's watch 5 shows instead of 6.
Again, I called it a step.
No, right, yeah.
Again, I called it a step. But she's solving the bed issue versus the actual addictions and stuff.
Is she solving the bed issue, or is she solving the taking care of myself issue? Right? What scale are you looking at?
No. But that's the thing. If you go the reversal route and go, well, we can trace it back eventually to the taking care of yourself thing. Sure, but there was a path of divergence where it was I went for the easy thing, taking care of myself.
Sure.
Yeah, that pattern does not equate to then going and climbing up the really tough hill.
Absolutely, and hence the whole thing of she needs to make this new groove. But what you seem to be saying is that it's if it's the taking care of yourself, that no, taking care of herself is not actually the right thing to be thinking about.
No, I'm not saying that.
There's some crucial little detail that's being missed.
No, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there's a fun.
Wait, have we been agreeing this entire time?
No, we have been, but you keep drawing the wrong distinctions here. Is that what I am saying is that she is focused on an external problem that is Anthi. She is wanting to save Anthi here. But hold on. All right. Hold on. The actual problems within her are taking care of herself. She says, I'm going here to retrieve myself, to bring myself back.
All the stuff that's not Anthi.
Hold on. The act of doing that to bring herself back, right, is basically saying that she's not doing this and treating Anthi as an object. She's redeemed the whole view of Anthi.
Yeah.
She solved that. Wonderful. The step that I was saying she did make in the progression of self-care is that she's bringing back herself. But she doesn't know who she is. She has never known who she is, meaning that she does not have in her capacity right now the ability to bring herself back. She is bringing back the version of her that worked, and probably, by the nature of just this episode giving her a bit of progression here, made a step towards realizing who she is. But because this all worked, because this all went down without a hitch and is all very easy, I don't think that she's necessarily going to make a step towards going back further and keep going back down because you were kind of describing it as the making the bed thing is a part of taking care of yourself under that umbrella. Yeah. I'm like, yes, I agree. I agree. But taking care of yourself is still underneath the identity umbrella. I think that even if she comes back to the point where she takes care of herself to where she's able to, be a pretty whole and healthy person and stuff like that, she won't necessarily be being herself.
But the whole point of when she was in the fight is she's saying, this is about me reclaiming my identity. So even if she doesn't understand...
Who I was, yes. Right. But
No. Why do you think that means that it's the flaws of the identity that I had, right? Because even the whole point with that is that it wasn't about her actual identity. She didn't have an identity. It was wrapped up in the prince thing.
No, I'm saying...
But she's realized my identity does involve some aspects of being a prince, and so I will be who I am. That also involves doing the thing that from the outside would be looked at saving the damsel in distress, but it's not about that. It's about me. I'm working on me. I know who I am, and so I'm acting in conjunction with who I am. And while there will be all sorts of other things that I'm sure will come up that she'll be like, oh yeah, that might have been an old habit that doesn't actually fit with who I am. Yeah. Get rid of that, right?
Yes, this is a progress bit towards that.
But the thing of the figuring out that this is the figuring out the identity part is not something that needs to be
separate.
No. It's not
distinct.
something. It's not something that needs to be refined anymore. It's that there needs to the execution of it needs to be figured out, because this is all new to her, and she doesn't know what that actually looks like to entirely walk out in this identity.
Right.
And she's figured it out for this one instance. Right.
Yep.
And so she does it. Right. And then for the rest of the show, she can discover all the other instances of because I'm me. Right. this is what
Yeah,
what we're gonna do.
I think we're very close on things there. I
Right.
just think that
we're splitting hairs.
No.
Of hairs.
I wanted to always treat it as a line segment and stuff like that to make the point that in order to do this, she will have to go back further. She will have to go backwards.
But I think that's why we're disagreeing on this is because the line segment fits with your vision of things. But I'm looking at like the 2-dimensional thing, right? Or 3 dimensions or whatever, right? The
Great,
direction.
sure, make mine seem
No.
weak and dumb. But my point is
my whole point is that I think she's pointed in the right direction right now.
Yeah, and my point is that she has blind spots behind her that she's not looking back on. Yes, exactly. I 100% agree with you. Your point is that she is headed in the right direction. And I'm like, yes, that's great. But her foundation has some really, really bad stuff in it. And she needs to address that.
But that's essentially saying that no, she's not actually in the right direction.
No.
That she's in the general right direction, but she still has to still has to fix it. Right?
Yeah.
And I don't think that's the case. I think she figured it out.
So, see. I think a way to describe it when I start thinking the right direction.
Yeah.
Because there's no perfect
right.
right
We're
direction.
all using these as tools and metaphors to try and
describe the thing. But what I'm saying is that Utena has a point where she's guaranteed to fail.
Okay.
Because she cannot build this skyscraper forever. Eventually, she has to go back and address the foundation. Building up is good. It's the right direction. Basically saying that she's going to make herself a shiny champion of other people and stuff like that. But it's the idea that she won't be able to reach her apex, to reach actualization, to reach the top, if she doesn't address the fact that.
And how is this episode not building the foundation?
No, she just addressed a part of the foundation. She just didn't address all of it. I think I've been communicating relatively simply in terms of like where I think the problem is, but it's just
yeah.
But it's cool. I love shows that can do this.
The fact that we were able to have this long of a conversation about specific, like this level of specifics about one of the characters and be this impassioned about it.
Yeah, I love stories that bring about symbolism through the characters and what they represent for their archetype or not medium, but like for what they represent in their
meta narrative kind of.
No, I guess archetype is the closest thing I can get to describe it. But basically, Utena is combating ideas of women, gender, and a whole bunch of other things, and the realization of that is going to be a progression, a journey. It's not going to happen in an episode. We both agree on that.
Yep.
But it's that the things as which she is using to combat that are imbalanced, and thus she needs to become balanced. And I think that you don't need to be balanced in order to do any good. I'm saying that when she goes and does her good in her imbalanced state of leaning really hard into this aspect of me, I will then do a lot of cool stuff. I will save, some of the student council members. I'll then kick the ass of the president. I'll then bring about some good status of things for Anthe.
But maybe this is going back into the pedantic stuff, but I feel like you're focusing so much on the balance thing. It's like, yes, everyone is not going to be perfectly balanced because that's
a non-argument.
No, but it's like, yes, when your best tool is a hammer, you're gonna see a lot of nails, right? And
she's taken on the paladin. She finally became a whole ass paladin.
But wasn't this whole situation in that she was realizing, I've just been trying to do a one size fits all situation. She realizes that doesn't always work, and so she's like, yes, good point. Let's fix my tool because it was a bit off, right? Like on a fundamental level, and now it's okay, cool. I know how to recognize that not everything is a nail just because I have a hammer.
Okay, let me ask you this: what do you think Utena was thinking would happen if she lost? When the president channeled the blessing of the whatever into his blade, he was trying to kill Utena. Like, we don't know the fantastical nature of this, whether anybody can die in these duels. Sure. And all the duels are bloodless and easy and basic and whatever. Yep. But the idea that I think Utena doesn't have a proper value for who she is, doesn't really showcase a lot of the ways in which she can value other people as well. She's starting with Anthi, and she's doing some progress with herself. But I think there are a lot of things that the show just does that are sometimes just convenient things just for the sake of convenience. But I feel like this is also a show of layers. That if we peel back a layer and go, wait, what if Utena lost here? Wouldn't she have...
Mm-hmm. So a couple things on that. So yeah, with the what if Utena lost, I think that's very interesting. I'm going to get into what I think would have potentially happened there. With the not valuing herself, I feel like that is a very easy thing to just sort of blanket apply to protagonists in any kind of high conflict story in general.
Who throw themselves into danger and
stuff who throw themselves into danger.
But I'm saying it specifically because she has the hero complex. That is a nature of hero complex type characters. This is not a blanket thing here. This is literally her trope.
No, right, but if
she is a savior hero complex character.
But in this specific case, the new Utena or whatever, this whole transformation that she's had, it was not going in there to save anyone else. It was for herself. So the whole not caring about herself because she throws herself into danger, I really think doesn't apply anymore.
Okay.
So, but as for what she would have done if she would have lost, that would have been very interesting. Because
Anthi, I think, had a flashback in this moment to someone losing and what happens when that loss happens. And she didn't want that to happen.
In like a world sense or in like a character sense?
Oh, in an actual sense. Because she literally wished in some ways that Utena would win here. And the red lightsaber effect went away. That was Anthi's will that did that.
Yes, absolutely.
And the reason why I think she did that was because she's seen something of, this will be just like that time.
So you're not talking about what happens when people lose duels in general, but like if
someone
she had lost
loses this effective
with the red lightsaber and all that
lightsaber thing, there was some actual consequence that Anthi was scared enough of to break the rules of the Rose Bride a little bit.
I saw it being as more of a thing if she realized that she didn't actually want, yes, breaking the rules of the Rose Bride and that she was essentially going against the president, right? But it's the her taking actions of her own because, she does actually want Utena to win.
Yes, right? Absolutely. This is not
just in avoiding a loss.
Right. This is something of also saving Anthi in that she is becoming more and more free as the story goes on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I'm just saying that that's the kind of thing that is the narrative convenience bullshit to basically be like, Utena just wins because she's the main character. But
if she hadn't won,
Anthi, something would have been really bad that would have happened. And Anthi specifically called that out here. And she has never done that in any of the fights thus far.
It was specifically called out that something especially bad would happen. Like, because if something especially... Okay.
I can bring up the scene here really quick.
Yes, please do.
Yeah.
If Utena loses, I don't particularly care about what physical things happen as a result of it. Okay, if she gets injured or if she dies or whatever, that'd be a kind of a weird direction for the show to take. But that doesn't mean anything as far as her as a person.
Okay, so it might, though. Miss Tenjo, don't you think this is strange? She could die. Why does she fight on?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I don't know anything about him. Back what I'm doing now is taking back what I'm doing now is taking back what I used to be.
Right.
Pathetic. It's over, Miss Tenjo, but I've seen this before. I know what this is. This is... I know this. It's like what happened last time. She gets scared. She flashes the image of the prince, basically.
Mm-hmm.
Begins to cry. The image of the red lightsaber stuff goes away. Her tear finally falls here. Because she either succeeded, she feels free.
Sure.
The result she got was what she wanted here.
Yeah, but so mechanically, what would have happened to Utena, like in a physical sense, right, of consequences of being hurt or things like that, that is very interesting from the standpoint of Anthi because it gives context to why she, like the exact reasons for why she made the blessing go away, right? But with regards to Utena, I feel like whether if she gets her arm lopped off or is totally fine or is in the hospital for a couple days or dies or whatever, that doesn't change the character stuff that's happening right now. Maybe that would create new stuff that she'd have to grapple with later.
Well, okay.
But as far as dealing with the fact that, I lost, regardless of what the physical ramifications are, assuming that she is not deceiving herself with when she says, I'm doing this to take back who I was, I don't think she would be capable of losing in the non-literal victory kind of sense, right? That she
Sure,
she
but-
might be disappointed, but if she knows that she's like, I gave it absolutely everything I had, I literally fought till my sword was cut into multiple different pieces.
Yeah.
I did all of that stuff. I threw my body in harm's way, all of that, and I still wasn't able to beat him. Okay, well, but I still did it.
No, obviously that's great for her as a character. I'm just talking about the fact that this is the kind of story to deconstruct its main character, because we're already literally doing that right now.
Yeah.
And one of the things that is a great vessel for that is to show how your main character deals with loss or defeat.
But
And
isn't
they
that
don't.
what-
They don't. That was
No,
that was the point of this whole episode.
And her learning then to deal with that, right? Because it
very
wasn't
quickly and
no, totally, but that's not an inherent problem for the story. That's just the pacing that it decides to take. That doesn't mean
Yeah,
that it's
I-
not genuine on Utena's
I'm with you, but I don't think this is the Okay. Now we're just circling back. This then gets back to the
Yeah.
Yes, we're solving a part of her stuff here, but we're not actually
Right. Is it
realizing
the-
her as a character and
Yeah.
all that other jazz there and stuff.
You probably know exactly what we would circle back around to.
Yeah, exactly.
If we did.
But this is cool because the show has only been 12 episodes in, and it's garnering such long discussions out of us. But y'all, thank you so much for watching this episode's reaction and discussion. If you want to see the next episode's reaction and discussion right now, though, go check out the link in the description below for our Patreon. You can get an early access there. You can watch full-length timer reactions there, and all this comes with Discord access, so you can chat with us in the community there about this show, about anime in general, and also be sure to check out our Twitch channel.
We stream every weekday. The info's in the description.
Yeah, so if any of that interests you, we'll see you there. But until then, we're Semblance of Sanity. I'm Caleb.
I'm Jacob.
And we'll see you all next time.